Wondering if it's possible to trade live on futures. What do you mean, Jeff? Yeah, you just go to NinjaTrader or Tradovate or whoever you want to set up with. Yeah, you just set up an account. Yeah, because the fees are actually more to trade live than it is to trade funded. Funded, you don't have to pay any fees. No, you wouldn't make more. You'll pay more, but you won't make more. Because what it is, you have to pay your fees every month. Broker fees, you see what I'm saying? And if you go funded, right? Hear me out here for a minute. If you go funded, then once you pass your eval, now you pay a one-time fee and you're done. You don't have to pay your broker fees every month. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Paul. Good morning. Good morning. I just saw you. I see you now. Yeah, and you don't have to risk your own money. He's exactly right. Now, some people prefer not going funded because they can't follow the rules. And if you're one of those people, you know, by all means, but I will tell you, the rules are in place in order to make it super hard for you to win. So that's the whole thing. So if you need to make sure that at least you have some kind of rules, or else all you're doing is throwing your own money away. But that's why a lot of people will. That's the reasoning that a lot of people will give, right, as to why they want to go funded rather than you know, going live. A lot of people will say the reason that I'm live is because I can't stick to the rules of the funded companies, and that's all good and fine. But you have to make sure, if you can't stick to the rules of a funded company, that you can stick to enough rules to be profitable. Because that's what the funded companies do, is make it, you know, extremely hard, so you have no choice but to be profitable. At the end of the day, you know, that's what you're trying to accomplish anyway. People always ask me about the rules on a funded company. I don't, they don't affect me at all. I have, you know, it doesn't bother me at all, because these are the same rules I stick to trading every single day. So a funded company makes no difference to me. Friend asked me same question. He wanted to use his own money till I explained to him how funded accounts work. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, and there is a flip side to that too. And I know this isn't going to apply to a lot of you guys currently. I mean, I'm just assuming here, right? Like, I'm assuming that we don't have guys that are, you know, placing $1 million orders on an exchange. But when you do that on live, that shows, right? So anybody that believes that orders get hunted or whatever else, you skip that too by being funded, because your orders can no longer be, you know, hunted if you believe in that sort of thing. Now, not everybody does, but if you're putting in $1 million worth of orders on funded accounts, then you're just putting in $1 million worth of orders on sim. So you don't have to worry about that actually showing on the books in the real market. So that's another plus for you guys that trade size. It's all in how you look at it, right? Have you ever thought about switching all your 50K accounts to higher accounts like 300? Well, yes and no, Jeff. I have 50Ks with Leeloo, Apex, Top Step currently, right? But I also have 150 and 250Ks with Apex and Leeloo. So, but I would never go with a 300K. I will tell you that. I only did the 250 because Apex had such a great sell on it. I prefer 150s. If you look back in the chat a while back, just search that Echo. I'm sure he's out there right now. And he did a real good makeup on 50 and 150 compared to the other accounts. The thresholds make it super tough, Jeff, for 300Ks. So I think you got like, I'm going to just call this off the top of my head, but I think it's like 7,500 drawdown and 20K profit target. So you got to think about this as your accounts go up, right? Your 25K is 1,500 drawdown, 1,500 take profit. You know, perfect. You got a 50% ratio. Your 50Ks are $2,500 drawdown, 3K take profit. Not so bad, right? And then your 150 is 5K drawdown, so that's double what it is of a 50K, and 9K, you know, profit. So that's 3 times. So now you're kind of getting into that territory. You got to make 3 times the profit, but only have 2 times the drawdown. So you can't up your risk, right? We've talked about this before. Risk has everything to do with, you know, that's the only thing you can control in the market. So essentially, with a 50K, I use 2 contracts. You already know I use 2 mini contracts, right? With the 150K, I use 4. Although it's 3 times the account, right? I still only use 4 contracts rather than using 3 times. Why? Because the risk is only double, and that's the only thing we can control, right? So that's where you start getting into threshold problems once you get into, you know, the higher accounts. Yeah, you can build your drawdown. I mean, you can build whatever you want once you pass it. But I mean, yes, the eval is the only hard part. Past that, it doesn't matter, especially if you're with Apex, because you don't have to keep a buffer. So you could essentially pass a 300K, right? And then if your drawdown 7,500, which I think is what it is, right? At 7,500, now you can withdraw from Apex. And now you can either, you know, keep the buffer, not keep the buffer. You can use it as a you know, a 50K account if you want to. So yeah, once you pass eval, it doesn't matter. They're all the same thing in reality. So it's just all in how you build it with Apex. Now other companies are not the same. Leeloo's not the same because you have to keep a buffer. So on a if it's 7,500, which I believe it is on a 300K, right? But if it's 7,500, then that 7,500 has to stay in your account, which is why I always, you know, talk about how much I like Apex in conjunction, but